It's not perfect. There are mistakes. There are mistakes every single time I play through it. But come on, I've only been working on this for 10 months. 10 months. Yeah. So I just figured there's got to be a cutoff because the only thing I've been playing for 10 months, and you think, why isn't it perfect? I'll get to that. Let me just play it first, and then if anyone's interested in sticking around, we'll talk more about it. But yeah, it's frustrating that it's not perfect, but it just, at some point you just got to move on, and I want to play other things. I want to do something else on the piano besides it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it every single time I play it. It's fun. It's a good challenge. But it's just getting to the point where I realize there's so much I'm not learning because I'm obsessed with this. So I'm going to play it, and we'll talk about it. Years ago, I was working on a music video with a buddy of mine, and it went pretty well the first time, but not perfect. There was a mistake near the end. And then every time after it, the mistake would happen like just sooner and sooner, and before you know it, you couldn't get like 30 seconds in without a mistake and laughing and starting over. And it's kind of was the same thing, I think, with Groundhog Day, where the mistakes started happening earlier and earlier, and pretty soon it was just a lost cause. So I bring that up just because as I play it, it goes pretty well the first time, not perfect. There's like a mistake in it, and then the next time it's earlier and earlier, and pretty soon I just can't even I can't even get very far at all without the mistake. So they just keep happening, and then my fingers get tired because I know why. My fingers are getting tired, my mind is getting tired. And things are breaking down. So it's like I only get a few moments of being able to record it before it starts breaking down. And then, yeah, but today I just figured now I'm gonna keep doing it over and over. Take a break, so I have to take like a 5-10 minute break and come back to it, and inevitably I can speak now, inevitably there'll be another mistake. So that was part of the problem. I just kept making mistakes, so it's starting over, and I just finally had to accept it. And like I said, or maybe I didn't say, I know there's things wrong with it. It's fine when I practice with the metronome, and then as soon as I start to play it without it, it gets off, or play along with the music, it gets off. So I know there's things wrong with it. People don't have to like scream out, you did this wrong. However, that said, it's just been an interesting adventure because with all the practice, and it wasn't like I was practicing like 8 hours a day. I'd maybe do it like, once or twice a day, and sometimes actually sit down there and really work on it for a while. But it got to the point where I learned it within like a month or so, and then I just plateaued. I just could not get past the hard parts. I think my fingers could be stronger, could play it more, practice it more. So I don't mind advice. I mean, I don't need to hear what's wrong with it. I kind of know. I can listen to it. But if there is advice on all right, how to practice a song like this and get it better, like what techniques really get you past the plateau parts, because I don't play it exactly like the original. I mean, the version I had, the music I had was a little shorter because I think it would be kind of boring doing the entire thing. So it's like, what is it? A B A C D. I think something like that. But anyway, so yeah, I know the original is different. I've listened to the original; it's great. I mean, it's just like you can hear actually Scott Joplin record. It's a recording on a piano rolla, whatever. All that kind of science back then around that time period. But listening to that, it's like, wow, there's just stuff you probably couldn't even write down in sheet music, just the little rolls and things he does. So it's an amazing song, amazing piece. I think it was well worth learning. And for those who don't know the history, Scott Joplin piece, he is most famous probably for The Entertainer, but this also is a great piece by him. It's probably, I think, between those two, you know his most famous works. I think it was registered in 1899, was the copyright, 1899, so probably written before that, whatever, but that's when he registered it. And it's a great piece. I think I saw one comment on YouTube saying only 1890s kids will remember this, but which is kind of funny. But the other comment was because the question is how difficult it is to play. Well, it's like it says it kind of fits easily under the right hand, but the left hand is just jumping all over the place. And I think it's still tough on the right hand too. But yeah, the left hand, it's like I can do the right hand without looking. That hand knows what to do. It's the left hand I can't really take my eyes off the left hand because it is jumping all over the keyboard. It's in a pretty easy key, I think. Yeah, it's not like, it's like the difficulty I think is just with the dexterity of the fingers. It's not so much anything else except for just the dexterity of having to move that fast for that amount of time. If I slowed it down, because this is like in cut time, I think it's like 100, but it is a fast song if you're really trying to play it to speed, and that's what makes it really difficult. Slow speed, I got that, no problem. Fast speed, not so much. If I could play this slow, I think it would be perfect at every cocktail party. So if I were just for, this is actually the time it's supposed to be played. So yeah, it's a fast song, and that's even, I should be playing it at 100 at cut time, but if you're playing it 4/4, then, 200. But yeah, 200, that's fast. It just feels fast when you're playing it at that speed for the whole song. Again, you have to have strong, fast fingers, and I don't practice enough to have that. So in summary, that is it. That is my journey for Maple Leaf Rag, starting back in February, and it's now pretty much the end of December. I just got to consider it done. I'll still practice it, and hopefully practice it every day, and work on at least play it every day and practice it. But I haven't picked up any other pieces in all that time. The only thing I even touched on the piano was like Christmas music for Christmas production. That I definitely had to learn that. But other than that, I don't even have sheet music out. This thing went to memory actually pretty quick. I would say within a month it was in memory. But it was just, yeah, it's almost sad. It's like, how come I couldn't perfect it in that amount of time? Again, I just need better techniques to really hone and perfect something. I think I'd probably be okay playing this at, because the whole reason I think, I said this was done, but I was at I had piano classes over the years in high school and college, and one of the professors, she's just basically has just said you've got to memorize music. I mean, you really need a repertoire of memorized music because inevitably, I use that word twice now, sooner or later you're going to be at a cocktail party or party and there's going to be a piano and you're going to want to play something. Maybe people know you play and they ask you to play something. And if you don't have anything memorized, then you kind of have to hope the sheet music there is something you already know, or you're just a great sight reader. But your best bet is just to have stuff memorized that you can just perform. And this is an impressive piece, I think. This is a pretty impressive piece if you can play it. I mean, I need to get a lot better at it before I'd be really confident, because once the piano another thing I have problems with is once the piano changes, once I'm sitting, anything changes at all that I'm not used to, it gets much harder. So I'd have to get past those obstacles too. So those are my goals. So I just wanted to share my Maple Leaf Rag experience, and I'm going to consider it done for now so I can move on and start working on other pieces. So yay, I guess. It's, yeah, kind of, I still want to, it's like art, it's never done. You just have to, sooner or later, just say, okay, we're cutting it off. We're cutting you off now. I'm cutting me off now.